Hi, so I've got thoughts um, on this post that I made, really a post that I shared. Um, we got some disagreements, and so I had to consider the disagreements and say, do they have a point? Which, yes, they did have a point. But is the post still valid? Yes, I think it's still valid. Let's talk. The statement is, I'm gonna pull it up so I get the words correct. The post is by Wendell Bernard Britt Jr. It takes emotional energy to be apathetic. I'll say that again. It takes emotional energy to be apathetic. And he has a way of stating things very simply that really immediately challenge you. Like, Wendell will in one sentence make you question core beliefs. Like, he will speak to something in your shadow that perks up and says, wait. And you're like, wait. And it's like, no. And you're like, yeah. And it just creates an inner conversation. And that's what I like about it. And that's why I shared this. Not necessarily because I knew if I agreed with it yet, because I wasn't sure, but I don't even know why I have these on. They're not attached to anything. It just goes to my pocket. Um, I don't know. I think that I agree, but I think I can see why people disagree. Let's look at the counter statements. Ben Chambers says false. If emotional energy is the gas in the tank, then apathy is when you've run out of gas. Apathy is turning off the engine in order to preserve whatever gas is left. And Timberly Fawn Flowers says, as a sufferer of severe depression-driven apathy, I have to disagree. And they posted this, and I was like, yeah, because I've been depressed, and I've known this feeling of like it feeling impossible to care, where you can't make the care juice, you can't produce it, you're empty. But I've been thinking about this all day, really for like the last, honestly, 24 hours, I think, at least. And here's my conclusion. It's not as simply wrapped up. I haven't like narrowed it down to one statement yet. My conclusion is that I do agree with Wendell. And it's because when you're not trying to care, you do care. You cannot not care about something. I, I really believe that. I think that we spend I think that we spend a lot of time like acting like we care about certain types of things, deciding that we care about certain kinds of things, telling people to care about things, being told to care about things, and acting it out. I think a lot. I mean, this all comes down to like values in a way, but it also comes down to inherent wants, things you've dreamed up, and also like inherited wants. I really think that you can't not care. In fact, I made a video once in which I was talking about a mantra that I was using for myself, which was telling myself I don't care. I was I was literally just like for a week, like multiple times a day, I would just remind myself, I would just tell myself, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And the reason this worked, is because I do, but because I felt like I was caring about all the wrong things. And so I was trying to cleanse my palate. I was trying to just like get back to my core care, which meant shedding everything that I thought I cared about. Just say, I don't care. I don't care. It's very backwards. But at the end of the day, I realized there was one care that I could not shake, which was experience or being. Like I did, in fact, even more so. Once I reminded myself I didn't have to care so much about this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that, that I did care about being alive. I did care about my experience, and it actually became a little more beautiful and a little more vivid. And I just cared, period. And then from there, I feel like I was able to build back some of my core cares, the ones that blossomed most naturally out of me. So when in my times of worst depression, I did experience what I would call apathy. And yeah, I mean, it felt impossible to care about the things that I felt that I should care about. But let's focus on that word should. Because my awareness of my apathy came from my obligations. And I think had I no obligations at that time, like no obligations to make money, no obligations to my clients, no obligations to expectations of friends and family, uh, religious indoctrinations that still lived in my head. I think unobligated, I still would have cared very much about getting healthy, about getting not depressed, like about getting out of it. So to me, I know that there's a lot of definitions and reasons for depression, but to me it is trappedness. I really think it comes down to feeling trapped. And that means suppressed. I'm not able to go do the thing I want to do. I'm not able to go do the thing I want to do. I'm not able to go do this thing that I want to do. And usually that's because we've been using every ounce of our energy to go do the thing that somebody else wants us to do, or that we have to do to survive. We have to make our money. We have to make somebody happy. We have to keep a roof over our heads. So we're trapped. We get trapped in these loops. I don't even have a hair tie. I'm just doing this. We get trapped in these loops. And sometimes we just have so little energy. Like those loops can drain you. Because a lot of times they're not the things that you were like made to focus on. And when you're not doing the things you're made to do, it is exhausting. It is exhausting. And you have to care about them so much that you have no room to care about the things that you really care about, and you do care about them. I never stopped caring. I just felt like I didn't have the energy to care. And so that seems like it's saying that Wendell's wrong. Caring takes emotional energy, but no. Caring You always care about something. You have values. Caring about the wrong things takes emotional energy. And by the wrong things, I mean misprioritized things relative to what you actually care about, like genuinely care about. So your apathy is usually towards a certain thing. I don't know if I've ever seen an example of true, like, I don't care about anything. Nothing. Can you think of a time that literally there's nothing somebody could have given you that you would have accepted? I think there's always something that somebody could give you that you would accept, even in times of feeling like you don't care. So you might not be aware of your care, but I think it's always there, and oftentimes buried and suppressed for reasons, and sometimes many, 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 many reasons. If you are holding back parts of you that are real, of course it's going to take energy. Nobody not cares. But caring doesn't take energy. It doesn't take energy to care. It takes energy to act on your cares. No, it doesn't. It takes action to act on your cares. Like, it takes doing, it takes deciding, it takes oftentimes risking. But have you ever noticed like an extra bolt of energy when you do something that's a little bit risky? When you go towards a fear rather than run away? If it's something you really care about, it kind of scares you, excites you, it wakes you up, and I think apathy perpetuates itself, and it fools you into thinking you don't have the energy to care. But really, you're just getting tired of suppressing your cares. Your real cares. It takes energy to not be who you are. But we will trade that energy for safety, or to keep going in the life that we're going. And sometimes we have to. So it seems, right? You have a lot of reasons to keep doing the things that you're doing. To keep having to work. To keep having to communicate. Honestly, like, I have friends that are depressed. And it's like, I know what break they need and from what, and they know it too. Like, if I was just like, hey, let's give you a place to stay for 2 weeks away from all that chaos. All you have to do is rest. I will bring you food. 2 weeks, and I will help you like leave this situation that you're in. Or hey, I have a new job for you that is doing exactly what you want to do, and I will pay you for it. Like, I have a friend that I know, like, if I was just able to do that, if I just had the resources to let them get away just from the literal place that they live with the person that they live with, that it would help them. I'm not saying it would cure their depression, but would it give them some space to breathe and maybe make some decisions, maybe make some changes? Okay, I know sometimes those seem impossible. And it's just that, like, something has to change, and sometimes it has to come from outside of the system, but a lot of times that means you have to be open to it, which means there needs to be a change inside the system, and blah blah blah. There is a lot, but, like, change is natural. Change is the easiest thing in the world. You were made to change. Everything in nature changes. Grows, decays, gets bigger, faces the sun, loses its leaves, gets leaves again, spawns more of itself. Oh, like, even stones change just slower. Change is easy. Change is natural. Change is the flow. When you resist that flow and we get stuck and you are no longer moving, that is unnatural. And doing something that is unnatural takes energy. So here's what I'm saying. You all do care. You care about something. If you literally don't care about anything, talk to me. Message me anywhere that you, like, follow me on social media, or, like, comment on this video. But, like, if you don't care about anything, let's have a conversation. And I will consider that. I don't know a person in the world that doesn't care about something. Sometimes it's just hard to care all the way because of what that would actually require of us, action-wise. It's the acting on the care that we shy away from. But I think that if you acted on the care, that you would be energized for it. Not, like, magically just at any moment. I know, like, people get tired, and, like, I remember my days of depression. Like, it did feel literally impossible to do things, to do the things I wanted to do, but I wanted to do them. I just couldn't move the right muscles. And so it had the appearance of me not caring. Like, I fooled myself into thinking that I didn't care. Because I was like, well, obviously, if I cared, I would be doing the thing. No, that's not fair to yourself. There's a lot of things that we care about that we don't do for many, many reasons. Don't get yourself into that trap. Okay? Those times, if someone would have just given me a break, just given me a break from the schedule that I was doing, helped me get away for a little bit, talked me through, like, invested in therapy for me, and what if I would have got out of some of the mental traps that I was in, I think I would have been able to start doing the things that I cared about. I did care. I always cared, even in times of not being able to act. So, here's my thesis. Everybody cares. Everybody all the time cares. there's a specific thing that you really, really do care about, but you can't do anything about it. So you decide apathy. I think it actually takes energy. I think it does actually take emotional energy to be apathetic. And it circles on itself. So that energy that it's taking to suppress the care makes it even harder to act on it because you're spending that energy. So, of course, it's going to seem that way. I've talked for 20 minutes though. I honestly don't expect anyone to watch that far, to watch this whole thing, but if you want to have a conversation for real, I'm happy to have it. I really am, but I don't know. Start by telling me your thoughts. Tell me if I'm making sense.